Testing 1, 2, 3. Members of the 290th, ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing and direct your attention to the honor guard from the Reno County Sheriff's Office for the presentation of colors and the national anthem. Honor guard, please post colors.
Present, forward.
Thank you. Please be seated. During your time at KLETC, you have walked past the Wall of Honor numerous times. The Wall of Honor was designated as a reminder to those KLETC graduates who have died in the line of duty. The names and the photographs of the 27 individuals memorialized preserve their memories and give family, friends, and law enforcement officers the opportunity to remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice in service to the citizens of Kansas. At this time, we'll observe a moment of silence to honor those 27 KLETC graduates no longer with us. Thank you. Good afternoon. KLETC 290th Basic Training Class, congratulations. Your graduation day has arrived. You've made it. You began this adventure at the Kansas Law Enforcement Training Center back on November 29th with hopes of serving in your communities as full-time law enforcement officers. Emily Dixon said, "If you take care of the small things, then the large things take care of themselves." And I want to pair this quote with a Bible verse of, "Whoever can be trusted with little can be trusted with much." In your time here, you have demonstrated that you have taken care of little things. And as a result, of that short time, you'll be certified as law enforcement officers and will be trusted with much. You took care of small things by showing up each day on time at roll call, ready to start your day as you waited in place to say the pledge. This demonstrated self-discipline, respect, and being able to follow a simple rule. There are many small things that you did each and every day. These things alone did not make you successful, but they were steps along the way that have led you to sitting here today, and shortly you will be rewarded for your efforts. So remember, take care of the small things, and you will be later trusted with larger things in the future. On the first day of the academy, I asked your class, why did you want to be a law enforcement officer? I did this so you would focus on that purpose during your time at KLETC. Friedrich Nietzsche said, "He who has a why can bear almost any how." This job does not come without pain or heartache, and you should have known this when you signed up or learned about it here at KLETC, especially when that pepper spray hit you in the face. All joking aside, you will experience disappointment and pain. Whether it comes from wearing your duty belt and vest for a 10 to 12-hour shift, or fighting with somebody who doesn't want to go to jail, to telling a mother or a father their child won't be coming home. You will also miss important things: family gatherings, holidays, children's sporting events, loved ones' birthdays, even your own anniversary. You may also experience the pain and trauma from things you have seen and done. So remember your why. It will provide you purpose and be a guide for you during your journey in life. Furthermore, I want to tell you to try not to do this alone. As seen here, your family, friends, peers, and community are there to help you and be there for you, just as you are here for them. Lastly, I want you to remember to go fishing. It has been scientifically proven to be good for your mind and your body. In closing, I want you to wish you all a successful, safe, happy, and healthy careers. You have chosen to answer the call to join a noble career of law enforcement. You are the thin blue line. A new adventure awaits each of you. God bless each and every one of you. On behalf of the Kansas Law Enforcement Training Center administration and everyone at KLETC, congratulations on completing basic training. It is my pleasure to introduce today's commencement speaker, Chief Wes Lovett of the Eudora Police Department. Chief Lovett began his career with the Prairie Village Police Department in 1993, where he held the position of field training officer, school resource officer, detective, patrol sergeant, critical incident response team commander, captain over all three of the divisions. And after 24 years of service with Prairie Village Police Department, he retired in 2017 and began working as the chief of police for the Eudora Police Department. Chief Lovett attended Kansas State University and is a graduate of the 292nd class of Northwestern School of Police Staff and Command. Chief Lovett is an active member of the International Associations of Chiefs of Police and the Kansas Association of Chiefs of Police. He is currently a board member of the Douglas County Crime Stoppers, member of the Criminal Justice Coordinating Council, and a 911 board member. Ladies and gentlemen, Chief Lovett.
Thank you for the introduction, and thank you to the staff here at KLETC for having me today. Good afternoon, graduating class 290. It is my honor to take a few minutes to share with some wisdom from someone that has served in this profession for 29 years. Over the years, I've had the opportunity to sit through many graduation speeches, wondering what I would say if I was ever given the opportunity. I do know this: the speech I would have given 3 years ago has significantly changed today. Retention and recruiting might be the #1 concern in law enforcement today. So although I only know but one of you in this graduating class, you all immediately have my respect for choosing this career path. With that being said, the profession you chose is difficult, more difficult than when I started in 1993. You're required to have a large skill set today. That skill set will be on display each and every day you're at work. You will be under the watchful eye of the community and at times may be scrutinized on social media. My goal today is to provide you advice that might keep you from being the officer that makes all of our jobs harder. People often ask me what makes a good police officer. And as basic as it might sound, I always reply by saying common sense. Common sense, by definition, is a basic ability to perceive, understand in a manner that is shared by nearly all people while dealing with practical manners. You will have the opportunity to practice common sense on a daily basis. You've heard this expression 100 times: treat others as you'd want to be treated. It is never more applicable than in law enforcement. In addition to common sense, officers need courage. You might have heard the saying, tough times never last, but tough people do. I've seen hundreds of men and women not make it in this profession. For some, it was probably for the best, but for others, all they needed to do was fight through the tough times. There's a lot to know in the beginning, and at moments can feel overwhelming. You will be tired, you will miss holidays, you will see things that others can't imagine. You will have bad days that you can't control, but what you can control is the attitude in which you choose to deal with them. I'm here to tell you that it gets easier, and it will be more rewarding than you can ever imagine if you allow yourself to persevere through those tough times. The profession will thank you for doing so, and is the key to bettering departments and riding this so-called ship for all of us is to have professional, compassionate people who, with common sense, will responsibly fight evil with good. Early in my career, I had an encounter with an elderly woman that changed the way I approached law enforcement. I was waiting in line to order lunch when the lady grabbed my arm and said she wanted to thank me. She went on to say that she lived in Prairie Village for 50 years and had to call the police for the first time 2 days ago because she locked herself out of her home. She continued by stating how nice the young man was that helped her and how proud she was to reside in a community that had such a professional police department. Now, as simple as this was, she shared her experience with not only me, but most likely her friends, her neighbors, and family, and that's how you win the citizens of your community. You need to remember that not everyone you encounter is a bad guy. Not everyone is against you or expects the worst. In fact, the majority of your contacts might be the only interaction that person will ever have with law enforcement in their lifetime. So please take the time to make it count, because you may never get another chance to make a first impression. You've joined a profession of almost 1 million people, so you're far from alone. When I started, it was normal to internalize every bad encounter. It wasn't tough or cool to share your feelings. My challenge to you is to be brave enough to be vulnerable. Speak to professionals, your colleagues, call me if you need to, but share your emotions with someone. I'll leave you with one last thought. I've had the opportunity to arrest hundreds of people in my career. and they all had one thing in common. They made bad choices. For this reason, I would constantly tell my 3 daughters as they left the house for the night to make good choices. You have now made the choice to represent law enforcement, and because you did, you now have the obligation to make good choices. You need to tell yourself right now that you will make the choice to never embarrass a badge, yourself or your family. This profession needs it and deserves it. Thank you for allowing me to speak today, and I wish you all long and successful careers, which I know you will have as long as you use common sense and remember to fight through the tough times. Be safe and good luck to you all.
Chief Lovett, on behalf of the 290th Basic Training Class and KLETC, I ask you to accept this as a thank you for taking time out of your day to give us your thoughts. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
At KLETC, we like to recognize student officers who excelled in various professional skills during their time at basic training. Firearms Top Shooter Award recognizes the student officer from the 290th Basic Training Class for their firearms proficiency. Officer John Miles from the Leavenworth County Sheriff's Office, please join me at the podium. Officer Miles has showed great skill and proficiency during both the firearms qualification and during the tactical shooting drills. Shooting is a perishable skill and truly requires consistent effort to maintain your abilities, and you have to show how practice and effort pays off. Well done, John. Officer Miles, this medal is awarded to you for being the top shot of the 290th Basic Training Class. It is now time for the class president of the 290th Basic Training Class to deliver a few brief remarks on the behalf of the graduating class. Ladies and gentlemen, the 290th Basic Training Class President, Officer Daniel Folks of the Eudora Police Department.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the 290th, I would like to say welcome and thank you to all the command staff, co-workers, friends, and family for showing us your support with your presence here on this milestone of our lives and careers. Secondly, I would like to thank the staff and instructors for supplying their time, past experiences, and overall knowledge of the job and how to conduct ourselves professionally, ethically, legally, and most importantly of all, safely. I would also like to take a moment to recognize the family and spouses who, like us, have spent the last 14 weeks counting down to this day. Your love, support, patience, and sacrifices throughout our time here has not gone unnoticed. Law enforcement is a career that comes with many challenges, as well as many rewards. From working that fatal car crash one moment to catching that DUI, knowing you may have just saved theirs or someone else's life. We are tasked with providing safety and stability to an ever-changing society. The line we walk is finite and has a lot of gray area. Yet that line is the difference between good or evil being triumphant. Like those before us, we have freely chosen to put on that badge in order that we might hold that thin line, with the hopes of one day seeing a peaceful and prosperous society. The biggest challenge we face while walking this line that is so thin and so gray is maintaining a level of professionalism and servitude in a society that seems to be becoming ever more hostile to those in our profession. Professionalism is the backbone of this career. Maintaining that along with humility is one of the many ways we can affect change. Do not be afraid to admit failures. And when you do fail, hold your head high, accept that failure in a professional manner, and strive to do better. For those that are affected the most by us learning from our failures is those we serve. If we are always learning and always striving to better ourselves, those in our communities will reap the benefits. Now, for my fellow brothers and sisters of the 290th, we made it. After being ready for this day, I think for most of us was after week 1, we are finally here. Though the journey has not gone without its ups and downs, we fought through and persevered to get to this moment. Throughout the past 14 weeks, we have had countless hours of classroom instruction, long joyful runs in 30-degree weather, OC spray, and 20-plus mile-per-hour north winds in below freezing temperatures for our night shoot. And that's not to say our other range days were much better temperature-wise either. A multitude of scenarios from simple welfare checks to domestic violence calls, as well as a plethora of other tasks. While accomplishing all these tasks was no easy one, we buckled down and got through it. I ask that all of you will continue to buckle down and push through the future challenges that lay ahead, all while maintaining a positive mental attitude and remembering your why. We have just begun our journey. It will be a long and at times painful one, but I do believe the fulfillment and joy of humbly and freely choosing to serve our fellow man will in the end outweigh that pain and suffering. As President Ronald Reagan once said, there is no limit to the amount of good you can do if you don't care who gets the credit. I find these words to be true. They reinforce for us that we must stay humble. We must be willing to go the extra mile, especially when no one is looking. And we must be willing to work as a team, for our end goal is all the same, to provide peace and security to our communities. Just remember that we are all one tornado away from being one big team working in the same county. May God bless you all and keep you safe as you journey through a new chapter in your lives. May you journey with honor, courage, commitment, and a steadfast desire to always do the right thing. Thank you.
Daniel. Daniel, it's my pleasure on behalf of the Kansas Law Enforcement Training Administration and staff to present you with this plaque as an appreciation and recognition of your being the 290th Basic Class President. I hope that you will display it proudly. Congratulations. You want to go ahead and take it? Or you want to put it on the table, or you want it? In law enforcement, ethics are at the forefront of training and our profession. The law enforcement oath of office affirmation is a consistent reminder of the importance of always doing the right thing. This is something we've discussed in depth during your time here at KLETC. The ultimate purpose of law enforcement is public service. A law enforcement officer assumes a great responsibility when they affirm the oath of office. They have entered the position of being role models, leading by example. They are enforcers of the law and protectors over our communities. I'll now ask Class President Daniel Fawkes to lead the class in reciting the law enforcement oath of office affirmation. In a few moments, you will be presented with a challenge coin. A challenge coin is a symbolic and meaningful and is given to somebody as a reminder of what they have done or confirm membership in an organization. This coin today will recognize you as a graduate of the Kansas Law Enforcement Training Center. I ask that you carry it with you as a reminder of the lessons learned and the friendships forged during your time here at the Kansas Law Enforcement Training Center. On the back of this coin is the oath that each of you just affirmed moments ago. Carry it with you and let it be a constant reminder to always do the right thing. Graduates, it has been my honor and distinct pleasure to be your class coordinator and a small part of your journey. I wish you nothing but success and happiness in the future. I will now ask the Kansas Basic Training Administrator Amy Osborne to join me on stage to present the members of the 290th Basic Training class with their certificates while I present each of you with a Kansas Law Enforcement Training Center Challenge coin. Class President Daniel Fulks will announce the names.
Front row, please stand. Ruben Acosta, Dodge City Police Department. Sydney Chilson, Junction City Police Department. Servando Cosillo, Junction City Police Department. Brendan Crawley, Butler Community College Department of Public Safety. Lloyd Durnall, Leavenworth County Sheriff's Office. Marquise Godley, Council Grove Police Department. Zachary Hendrick, Wichita State University Police Department. Stetson Hawley, Kansas Racing and Gaming Commission. Front row. Corey Hull, Barber County Sheriff's Office. Department. Richard Lara, Bonner Springs Police Department. John Miles, Leavenworth County. Second row, please return to your seats. Second row, please be seated. Third row, please stand. Ernest O'Banion, Ness County Sheriff's Office. Holly, Police Department. Brandon Ramberger, Lyon County Sheriff's Office. Police Department. Public Safety. Brian Young, Cali County Sheriff's Office.
Officer Daniel Folks with the Eudora Police Department. Third row, please return to your seats. Class 290, please stand. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for attending today's graduation ceremony. On behalf of Director Beck, I certify that each of you have satisfied the training requirements to be law enforcement officers in the state of Kansas. Now, what you have been waiting for over 14 weeks to finally hear, class dismissed.